Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, next generation of Baltimore sports talk. I am your endearing starting host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lever, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt, it is ridiculous as we record this on Sunday night, trying to squeeze it in right before the Ravens game. It is ridiculous that they have not put out the game times for the wild card games yet.
Yeah, I know. We're all waiting for it.
I get it. Many people probably like me were like, my day is cleared for this, and that's because I'm traveling up there, and we can get to that. But most people have to work and need to make work arrangements. And do I take a half day off work? Do I take the whole day off work? Do I go to a 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock game after work? It's ridiculous that 48 hours out and they haven't let us know.
Yeah, but people will be there no matter what time it is. Right?
I know. It is inconsiderate of Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Inconsiderate.
Okay.
Silas doesn't even know if he needs to pretend to be sick to get out of school on Tuesday to watch the game. How's that fake cough coming, Silas?
We've been already discussing plans in terms of Silas and watching the game.
Yeah, there you go. This is a religious holiday.
Yeah. Well, what about this, Josh? On Tuesday is Silas's first Little League game of the year. And
pray for rain.
What would you do? Silas, what would you rather do? Go to your first Little League game or watch the Orioles' first wildcard game?
Go to my Little League game.
Fair
See,
enough.
remember, I got in trouble with this last year with softball season.
Yes, you did. That's right.
Where I believe I'm taking this season off. But last year during softball season, was it game 3 or game 4? It was a we must win this game.
Yeah.
Type game. And I skipped a softball game to not travel to the game, but to sit at home and watch the game. And one person on it on the group chat, decided to take it out on me for why they lost the softball game and anger at me over skipping softball to cheer on the Orioles.
Well, this is a real interesting time of year where priorities are made apparent, right? And I'm going to face an issue. I got to see what time the game is because I teach a night class from 5:30 to 10. So I'm actually rooting for an afternoon game.
Was it?
Selfishly.
I don't think we were podcasting. I think we were just chatting. When you had right before the hurricane, when you were teaching this class, and a girl was joining you from Target.
Yeah, I don't want to put people's business out there, but yeah.
I'm saying, just as an example, you can do the same thing. Sorry, kids, I am teaching this from Camden Yards.
Yeah, and I didn't knock her for going to Target. There's a hurricane coming. Go to Target.
Yeah, that's not what you did on the messages to me.
Okay, and then join me when you're done. My issue is don't try to join class while you're shopping at Target. Just let me know and join after. It's literally a 5-hour class. Sure.
I got a question about that class.
Yeah,
I know you didn't want to talk about it, but here we are. So here's my question: are they forced to leave their cameras on in your class?
I mean, they're not forced to leave them on. No.
So there's no reason they had to tell you they were in Target.
Well, everyone has their cameras on. Just common etiquette.
I would have just turned my camera off.
If the camera was off, I would probably have messaged her and said, "Hey, why is your camera off?"
Yeah, and I would have said, "I don't know what's going on. I'm struggling to get my camera on."
Okay, see, because your whole life is centered around lies and deceit.
No, it's not.
My whole life is centered around transparency. That's
if it makes it easier for everyone else involved, and I get all the life-saving supplies of a hurricane coming my way, then it is not a lie.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can Zoom the class
Silas
and
said it's still a
put it on
lie,
the TV. Yeah, I
but
don't know
we're
why
gonna
you're
say
thinking
it's not a lie.
some lies here. We can be honest, but anyway,
No,
if
I don't
it's
know.
like because what are the options? There are options, right? There's time slots. There's like 1, 3, 5, 8, or something.
1, 2, 5, 8, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you figure my guess would be that we're going to get that first slot, that 12 slot. And my question is, if the game is at noon, what do you do about Silas in school?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Emily about this. I haven't really thought about it.
But you and Silas have talked about it.
No, we haven't talked about it. This is the first time we're talking about it.
Silas, how do you think this should happen? If the game is happening while you are at school, what time do you get home from school?
3 is when I usually get home around 3:30.
All right. Great. All right, 3:30. A noon game is going to be over by 3:30.
That's true. It will be.
So, Silas, what would you like to do if the game is at noon? Would you like to work on that fake cough?
See, now you're putting pressure on me, Josh. You're putting ideas in the boy's head, okay?
Or would you like to start the game with a replay at 3:30 with no one telling you what happened?
Start the game with who you play at 3:30.
Smart. You picked that one. That way you then secretly hope your dad surprises you by saying, I'll pick you up early from school.
Yeah, I mean, with all these late night games, we already have all the spoilers hidden on the MLB at Bat app, so we know no spoilers. When we
all right, so you can start it late.
Hidden. Yeah, so we could start it late. Though it won't be spoiler. I will probably spoil it. No, but this is I think
it's part of being a grown up.
Yeah, it's the priority thing, right?
Yes.
And this is what separates us lunatics from like the normal person.
Yes,
because it doesn't matter. We're going to be there. You are in person. You can shame me for not being in person. I'll be there in person for the ALDS. We'll get to it. I'm feeling great about the
what happened to Game 3? I thought you told me you'd be there for Game 3.
I know, but it's a moot point because this game's over in 2. I'm calling it now.
All right,
early prediction, bold prediction. This thing's over in 2. It's over in 2.
All right. Well, no point to podcast. There you have it, guys. Over in 2.
Over in 2, and I got 2 words why, but we can get into it later.
Well, I will tell you, I was debating. I thought I was going to drive up, and then I decided I was checking out this Frontier airline, which I'm sure is.
Josh is in full panic mode. He's in his room. He's mapping road maps to the game. He's going on looking at flight tickets.
Yeah, you got to.
Plans. He's got 10 plans in his head. And the Orioles, he's doing all this work, and the Orioles won't even tell him what time the game starts.
Oh, I know. It's irritating. So anyway, I went and got a Frontier all-you-can-fly plan with Frontier Airlines, which lets you fly as much as you want, as long as but you can't select the flight until 24 hours out.
Okay. You got to hope that is not fully booked.
Well, they've got like 3 or 4 flights a day between Orlando and Baltimore.
Okay.
And Orlando's about a 2-hour drive for me.
Okay.
So they have some. If I can go out of Jacksonville, but Jacksonville is a 1-hour drive, and that flight goes through Dallas, so it's like a 12-hour flight. Gotcha. Where Orlando. So I got anyway. The whole point is, I invested my money into this Go Wild all you can fly plan.
Yeah.
With the
so the more they win, the more you save.
Right, with the thought that if I go one time, I paid way too much money for one flight from Frontier.
Yeah.
But if I go back next week, a week after, keep going back into the World Series, then I beat the system.
So your confidence meter is pretty high here.
Well, and it lasts until February. So there's also the fact that I have to go to Vegas for work in November, so I'll use it for that.
Whoa! I thought you were just flying to Baltimore. You can fly anywhere?
No, I can fly anywhere.
Oh, for $299?
It was $299 between now and middle of February.
Oh, that's interesting.
You can fly.
Seems like a great deal.
Fly anywhere. You have to pay the taxes for each flight, which is about $15.
Okay.
Each flight, and then you only get a carry-on.
Right. So I know. I'm very familiar with Spirit and Frontier.
Yeah, it's like all these crappy ones, and you can't pick your seat. You have to pay if you want to pick your seat. Pay if you want this, but I don't care about any of that. I just want to get back to Baltimore.
The bathroom.
Yeah. Right. Oh, you joke about that. I did see today when signing up, you have to pay if you want to check in with a person at the airport instead of using the machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's a $20 upcharge
Yeah.
for an employee.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I'll use the app.
Yeah, but I remember booking through Frontier, and there was like 5 screens you had to click through. You want to
Yes.
purchase this extra, purchase this extra, purchase this extra. No.
Yep. I hit a lot of
Yeah.
no's today, but I
Yeah,
got my flight for tomorrow afternoon.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I am all set to go back and forth, and I am all set to continue to travel back to Baltimore for each series leading up to the World Series.
So you're planning on going to game 1, game 2, game 3?
Of this series?
Yeah.
We've got tickets for game 1 and game 3 at the moment.
Okay.
Game 2 is kind of going to be up in the air. We'll see.
Okay.
I might just watch it. I might watch game 2 just somewhere locally.
Yeah. And I'm optimistic, and we'll get into I think you're optimistic too. It's amazing the difference a month makes, by the way. But
it is. And I want to talk about the Royals versus the Tigers, because I feel like last week we were just assuming we would be playing the Tigers.
Yeah. Can I just complain about one more thing since you started off by complaining about?
Oh, of course.
There's no date. I was doing a little prep in the show, but while you were texting me right before the show about Travis Kelce, for some reason, I'm actually doing show prep. So, but I was looking at, we're getting ripped off, Josh. I don't know if you know this. We're getting ripped off with the ticket prices.
Oh, totally.
Oh, I looked at it, and
call Kamala. Call Kamala. She says she can never know who exactly is ripping people off. Now you can call her and say the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, the Baltimore
Orioles. And by the way,
the
Milwaukee Brewers just announced their round 1 game times.
Oh, good. So maybe before the show's out, we'll have game.
So hopefully we will.
Because that's not a Brewers decision. That's an MLB decision.
I would assume so. So I don't. Oh, and let's see. Is this it? All right, here we go.
All right, what time is it again? Breaking news.
Orioles, game 1 for the Orioles. Breaking news as you listen to this on Monday morning. The Orioles play, Silas, you're going to be excited for this. They play at 4:08 p.m. 4 o'clock game, Kansas City at Baltimore.
Oh, man. All right, I got my class at 5:30. I'm going to have to push back to start a class.
Silas, works for you. Your dad's a little upset, but you get to watch the game.
6, so that you better hope for a fast game.
Oh, Silas, 6 o'clock game. That means you're missing innings 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Those are big innings.
Yeah.
You got to work out some signs so that your mom can sign you from the side saying what the score is.
Yeah. Maybe hook you up with a little headphone. We can sneak you in there with the headphones.
Oh, yeah, a little earpiece.
While you're playing. But we used to do in school back in the day.
Right. Yeah. And headphones have gotten even smaller. You can totally get away with that, Silas.
Yeah. Okay, but that's cool. 4 o'clock. That's and hey, what's the weather, Josh? Are we going to play a game on Tuesday? Is the weather in Baltimore looking okay?
You know what? I was looking earlier today. 4 o'clock sounds perfect because it looked like afternoon showers, but it looked like it was clear in the evening. So right now, if I look on Tuesday weather, it says rain.
Maybe just past experiences, but rain's always come to playoffs. Just
rain until about 2 o'clock.
All right, good.
So it'll clear up, hopefully before we get down to the stadium. I love a 4 o'clock start. It's not as good as an 8 o'clock start. I like late night baseball. We all like dark baseball.
Yeah.
But I'll take 4 o'clock. I was really dreading the noon.
Yeah, I was kind of pushing the noon. All right, that's fine. So my complaint was just ticket prices. I looked at all the teams in the American League.
Correct.
And we have the highest sale ticket prices for just looking at the ALDS by far, Josh.
Now, I know you sent me some screenshots of this earlier, but I didn't look close enough. Were these prices based on StubHub or based on the face value?
Face value. So I went to the team websites.
All right. I know like the Braves are like $45 for an upper deck.
Yeah, and the cheapest tickets for the Orioles, by the way, is $112 for the ALDS.
Okay, for the ALDS?
Yes. I'm doing ALDS since everyone plays in the ALDS. So
gotcha. All right.
For the Guardians, it's $79 for the cheap tickets. So again, the Orioles, what did I say, 112. The Guardians, 79. The Yankees, 97. The Tigers, for some reason, don't have theirs listed. They're the only team that doesn't have, I can't click on ticket sales. They don't have any options listed. And then
They're not sure that they're going to make the playoffs.
Oh, burn! But they did
and
make the
then-
playoffs, but not the
yeah.
ALDS. Yes,
And then the Astros, $35.
the Astros
So-
are $35
But yeah, for the upper deck,
To
the
get-
cheap tickets
to get in the door with a seat. $35.
Yeah, $35. And
That's
so
a steal for a regular game.
yeah, and maybe and listen, maybe the teams like the Braves and the Astros are there every year, so maybe over the years you lower the prices, but all of them, we're the only one that's above 100, and we're above. I mean, we're 112 just for the nosebleeds.
Yeah,
That's pretty. I don't know, for a working town, a blue collar working town like Baltimore, compared
it
to
is.
maybe some of these other towns, it feels a little bit like
Well,
price
that's
gouging.
well. You bring up an interesting point because I don't know the market in Detroit and Cleveland and Houston as far as what things cost, but it's also the Orioles can get away with it because people are so desperate for playoff baseball, and I don't know if this is a leftover. Well, this is what we charged last year last time as Peter Angelos kept
I think it's
ranking
pretty
up.
similar prices to last year because I
Right.
remember commenting on how I didn't compare it last year, but I remember thinking, "Oh my, that is
Right.
ridiculous."
So I wonder.
And by the way,
if-
111 is the ALDS; it goes up every time, so it's like 150 for the ALC.
and I can see like, no matter who the owner is, you're going to go to them and be like, "Hey, last year we sold him at this, and we sold out. Should we raise the prices?" And he's going to say, "No, keep them the same."
right.
Where, sorry, I know we're the most expensive, but to keep something the same from last year, I am going to be a little in defense of the Orioles because I can't think of anything I pay for that's the same price as it was a year ago.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying comparing it
but
in the
compared-
market to other teams.
Yeah, it's
surprising because Orioles in the regular season often have really good deals, right? Like it's a
Yes.
lot cheaper to see the Orioles than it is to see the Yankees
Yes.
or the Braves. A lot cheaper. So
Yes.
it's just surprising that they throw all that out the window
And
in the playoffs and they become the most expensive ticket.
right,
Let's
and
do
it's
that.
totally it's a demand thing. It's a demand thing because they
I
can
get
get
it.
away with it.
I get
Are-
it.
So, are tickets still available for the ALDS?
Last I checked, there were a couple sections still
Okay.
available. And I think that from just the teams that I think the Yankees had actually the most available of all the teams I checked.
And I
for-
think for the wild card series, it's only standing room left.
yeah, like there's just 2 sections left. Looks like for game 1 of the ALDS.
Okay.
For some of them, it looks like for some of them ALDS is sold out. For some of the teams,
Yeah.
you can get tickets for any team for game 2 ALDS.
Well, game 2 is a lame game. Like it doesn't matter what level it is. It's not as game 1 is the excitement. Hey, we made it. We're here. Let's celebrate.
I guess that's one fair thing. The game 2 ALDS tickets, I mean the game 1 and game 7, if there is, like those are the same prices.
Right.
They could do what's that? What they institute now? The flexible pricing.
Right. Right. What
the
they did
Yankees
for
or
like the
something.
Yankee games.
Yeah, they could do flexible pricing for
They
game
could.
1 and game 3s or 7s or 5s.
Right. Right. No, they could. I mean, it's something to complain about, but is what it is. And if it's the same as last year, I probably complained about the prices last year, and they
Okay.
suckered me in.
All right.
So people just need to head on over to Breaking Tea and purchase more Birdland Sports shirts because they are finally up. Our partnership is finally up with the Birdland Sports collection at Breaking Tea, breakingtea.com/Birdland Sports.
Oh yeah, Josh, congrats on having all your stuff go over there to Breaking Tea and finally
you.
for
We-
it to be posted.
We needed to win a series in order to get it posted, and that did not happen the entire month until we clinch. So then we announced it with the clinch. And I'll just say, the Orioles really struggled from the time the deal was reached until it was released. But once it was released, the Orioles haven't lost a game.
Yep. That's a lot of clinching and releasing talk for my liking. And I think once the playoff starts, we'll be in a whole lot more clinching as well. So how are we feeling, Josh? And we're going to get into some roster discussions. And I know you want to touch on the Royals versus Tigers discussion because it's official now, right? It's the Royals.
It's official. It's the Royals at 4:00 on Tuesday.
Yeah. How are we feeling? But before we get into the nitty gritty of the opponent and the roster, how are we in a general feeling? How are we feeling maybe compared to last year? I feel like this season has been kind of up and down. So how how are we feeling going into the playoffs?
I feel really
About
good
our
going
team.
into the playoffs. Feel
Okay,
really
good.
good because the offense is back. The fact that Westberg and Urias and Kerstead and Mountcastle all have made like decent offensive performances since coming back makes me feel good going into the postseason, that we're healthy,
I mean,
that we're there.
winning always makes you feel good. We took two out of three from the Yankees. We swept the Twins. It seems, Josh, that this Jordan Westberg kid
Yeah.
kind of, I don't call him a glue guy. It seems like his impact goes beyond just his hitting, which is, he contributes offensively. It just seems like maybe we underestimated the blow of Jordan Westberg and the significance of his return.
I think the thing with Jordan Westberg, and we talked about this when he went down, is that he has been consistent all year. And I love Jordan Westberg. I talked earlier
in a team
this
that hasn't been
season.
very consistent.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I talked earlier this season about Jordan Westberg and about how Gunnar Henderson is the number one to extend. But if I was the Orioles, I would try to pair Gunnar and Westberg together and lean into that friendship and say, let's get you both locked up for 8 years. Sign these papers. Let's do it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, like a mutual contract where they both have to stay together. They sign one piece of paper. There's 2 spots for their signatures. And they go. And if you trade them, you got to trade them together
in blood.
And whatever they got to split the paycheck every time.
Right.
If
I'm saying
one of them, the other one needs to go with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Package
No,
deal.
I'm saying we have to announce at the same time.
Okay.
You guys sign together. We'll announce it tomorrow. You guys, the face of this organization is now the Gunnar Jordan Incorporated.
Yeah.
We'll work that. We'll play on that name. That's a bad name. We'll play something better.
No, you're right. The offenses look good. I mean, it's also Ramon Urias. It seems like, at the beginning of the season, we were talking about how long will he last with Kobe Mayo.
Yes. And then he
He's
gets
gonna be
hot. And I want to trade him because I'm like, but he's been pretty good all season.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Josh, you have to watch the likes of Nick Maton or whomever out there,
or
I know
Emmanuel
Rivera's played pretty
Rivera.
well. Yeah, but you watch these guys, even Eloy Jimenez. You watch these guys, and you're like, okay, give me back Ramon Urias. I'll take even Kobe Mayo, right? Because Kobe Mayo, I know, was the hot thing in AAA, but he just didn't perform. And give me a guy like Ramon Urias, who's a professional major league player.
No,
give me that guy.
With Ramon here, it puts Holiday on your bench, which is a great spot for him for the postseason.
I don't know.
I mean, they're going to do the lefty-righty thing.
Yeah.
With Ramon and Holiday.
Yeah. I'm still, I don't know, Josh. Like the shine should all be gone off Holiday, right? Like the shine should be gone. He's turned into a relative pumpkin in his time here. He's had some amazing moments, right?
Yeah,
right
I won't call him a pumpkin, but yes.
But Josh, he's batting 180. Come on.
Correct. But he has shown me enough that I want him on my postseason roster.
Yes.
I
agree.
I wouldn't choose these last month guys over him.
Oh, he's definitely making the roster. And I feel like he's due for, like, he just seems like a guy that could produce some Orioles magic in October.
Yeah,
right?
I don't have his numbers in front of me, but he, to me, feels like a clutch guy.
Yeah, and he's played better, I think, as of late.
Yes, he is a future Gold Glover. To go with that controversy.
Yeah, that may or may not be true. But yeah, so I feel good about the offense, with especially with Westberg and Urias back.
And I feel like really good about
hitting the ball a lot better. Hauser's hot. Kirsten had home run. It just feels like we're finally out of that 2-month-long funk we were in.
Yes,
and playing like we did at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I feel like we can get. I feel like we can get 7 runs a game if we need to.
Yeah.
I also feel really good about game 1 and 2 with Burns and Eflin, or Eflin and Burns, whatever order they're doing.
It's Burns and Eflin. Okay.
Did they already announce?
Oh, you insist on. Yes, Josh, it was already announced, and it was not even a discussion. Okay, Burns is number 1. Eflin's is a far number 2.
Burns been kind of bad, like the last couple.
Exactly.
Okay, he had a rough patch. Silas. He figured out his cutter.
He's actually been really good the past couple starts. Yes.
Yeah, but before that, he did have a couple bad starts.
But thank you for trying to help me, Silas.
But no, you're right. I feel good about Burns. How do you feel, Josh? Once at some point, okay, offense, we feel good about that. We feel good about
at some point we need a third pitcher.
At some point, well, even before that, at some point Burns has to exit the game.
Yes.
And then other pitchers come in. How are we feeling about the other pitchers?
Well, you remember those 7 runs I mentioned?
Yeah.
I think Eflin's our best pitcher and starters.
You feel best about Eflin right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too, Silas. I don't have issues with Sir Anthony. I feel okay for the most part with Sir Anthony coming in.
Okay. Can I confess? I didn't watch today's game. Okay. All right, I didn't watch it, but I just put up the box score, and so I'm just learning this for the first time because I haven't been on Twitter today either. Jackson Holiday, he led off. I don't know if you watched this, Josh. He went 3 for 4 with 2 walks at leadoff. It's a pretty good day. For
No, he didn't.
Okay, I got it. I got it pulled up right here, and it says 3 for 4 with 2 walks. Am I making this up? Is MLB at bat app making
for Holiday?
This up? For Jackson Holiday
today?
Oh, that was yesterday.
Okay, I was gonna say today Henderson led off. Holiday did
come in.
Holiday did come in and play shortstop.
6-2. Confession: I didn't watch yesterday's game either. I just found out about Holiday.
All right, you said Holiday was 3 for 4 yesterday because I didn't watch yesterday.
Yeah, but 2 walks. I didn't watch it either.
All right, well today Holiday did come in for Henderson late in the game as a pinch hitter and went 1 for 1.
Okay, yeah.
So that all bodes well for Holiday's bat is waking up.
Why would Holiday come in for Henderson as a pitch hitter?
Again, because we've locked up the wild card,
so
there's really don't, and we were winning. So there's kind of just these last couple games kind of been a tune-up for all the players and line up our bullpen. Interestingly, Josh, talking about line up bullpen, Suarez pitched today, which to me and threw 80 pitches, which to me implies
number 3 is Suarez.
He's not going to be on the roster.
Oh, so you're saying Kramer would be?
Yeah, I think Kramer's going to be.
Hold on. Does Suarez not make the roster, or do you put him in the pen?
Yeah, I mean that's what I think. With 80 pitches,
I think you put him in the pen.
I don't think so.
You think
you want to talk about?
I think you would put him in the bullpen.
You want to talk about roster predictions?
All right, let's talk roster predictions.
All right, our 3 starters. Do we agree? Well, Grayson. I don't know if they announced all 3 starters. It's definitely going to be. I said Grayson. I'm sorry. It's definitely going to be Corbin.
You're going to make me cry.
Eflin. I know. And then I don't know if they've officially announced this, but I assume it's going to be Dean Kramer because all year he's been our 3rd best pitcher.
Yeah, I would think Dean Kramer. I would think Dean Kramer.
Yeah.
I think if you get to a 4th pitcher, it gets a little tricky with Suarez or Povich.
Right. And so that's what I think is like
later on.
That I think is a bullpen discussion, though. Who would you rather have in the bullpen?
Well, I think you
Povich or Suarez.
Well, I think you put them. I think you might put them both in your bullpen because I think, especially for that game 3, game 4 situations, you're almost running it like a bullpen game. Like if Kramer struggles, we're bringing him out early and going to Povich or going to Suarez, assuming you don't have to use them in game 1 and game 2. You get up for a game 3, game 4, become bullpen type games. Would be
I mean that's fine if you can. That's fine, Sass and Josh, if you can keep 28 guys on your roster. Right now we have 28. We gotta get it down to 26.
Yeah, we dumped 2 people. That's easy.
Okay. And the other thing's going to be interesting to watch is, do you keep 13 pitchers, which you may be able to keep Suarez and Povich if you have 13 pitchers. But or you can just keep 12 pitchers since it's just a 3-game series.
No. Well, and for the wild card round, maybe.
So
maybe you do that.
So I'll switch it to you, Josh.
Yes.
Who would you rather have?
In the bullpen?
Yeah. Well, these 2 players, Suarez in the bullpen, or Emmanuel Rivera, who's been hot lately, on your bench. Because I think it's that kind of discussion.
Emmanuel Rivera. I would think you would put.
I think you take the extra bullpen.
Even in a 3-game series.
You're making it tricky with Emmanuel Rivera because I don't really believe in Emmanuel Rivera.
But I think that's what's going to come down to, right? I think that's the decision.
Because your bench spots, your set bench spots are Holiday and O'Hearn, right? and
Yes.
then Kerstead.
Yeah, I assume Kerstead will make it too.
So then it's are you adding Rivera as just a DH style off the bat? Like you're here in case. Basically, you're asking me, do I want one guy sitting here in case I need a big hit and I don't trust the guy who's going up, or do I want one guy here to be another pitcher in case I can't trust any of my pitchers? It's when you're coming down to a bench spot, it's really down to what do you trust with this team? And I really don't trust the bullpen. So I would put me an extra guy in the bullpen,
Okay.
not on the bench, because I trust my players on the bench.
All right, so let's go through the bullpen real quick. I'll start
right.
from the end and work my way back. Sir Anthony Dominguez is our closer, right?
Yeah. He seems to be the closer, though. He also has been playing with the idea of bringing him in earlier for a more important part of the lineup, which I like. But yes,
Okay.
Dominguez.
Yanier Cano is kind of our setup guy.
He's in.
Danny Coulombe's in.
Yep.
Jacob Webb's in.
Yep.
Cino Perez is in. I know he's
Correct.
had some struggle, but I still feel good about Perez. Keegan Aikens had a really good year, actually. He's in.
Yep.
I never would have said at the beginning of the year that he would be on the playoff roster, but he's in. Gregory Soto.
Yep, that's another one that I've got that I would have never guessed, but yes.
Okay, I think Gregory Soto's in. Matt Bowman, he blew up the other day.
No, he's not. I don't think he's on. I think he's out.
Matt Bowman's out?
Matt Bowman's out.
Okay, so now I'm at 8.
Yep.
And just for kicks, let me throw in Corbin Burns at 9, Zach Eflin at 10, Dean Kramer at 11. And so now I'm at 11 without Suarez or Povich.
Yeah.
So you could put Suarez
and
Povich, and that's your 12-13.
And that's what I think they do.
Okay.
I think you get to 13 that way.
When he had said they don't have Povich.
Yeah, it's just I pulled up. This is a one person's prediction, and they have Bauman and not Povich.
Right, and that's your other. So all right, so with that lineup, what pitchers do you leave out? You leave out Bauman. You leave out.
And you also
Selby.
Please leave out Brian Baker. If he's on this roster, Josh.
Yeah, no, and you leave Brian Baker out. You are correct.
Yeah. Hey, Austin Slater, is he on the team?
No.
Oh, really?
No, because I don't think I don't want two outfielders on my bench.
But don't you need a defensive replacement outfielder? That's really not Kerstead.
Yeah, you're right. Kerstead, and I think for most of these series, you're right. Maybe Slater does make it as a.
I think Slater makes it. Just for
the problem is
here's
my problem with Slater as a defensive replacement is that when you go defensive replacement, you remove a bat from the lineup.
That's how it works.
And I don't really want to remove Santander or Kowser or even Mullins' bat from the lineup.
It's just going to be Santander because he's the only one worth replacing defensively. And then I think if that happens, then you have Kerstead on your bench to pinch hit for Slater if somehow.
True. Yeah. No, because Kersted's your DH.
Kersted's your DH?
I think Kersted's your DH.
No.
Yeah.
What about Ryan O'Hearn? Why is he not your DH?
I think
maybe should be your DH.
I don't know. I feel like O'Hearn's been struggling.
Oh, he had a home run the other night. I think.
Yeah, I think 2 for 2 today, plus a walk.
And it's going to be. And I haven't looked at the Royals starting rotation here that we'll be going up against. But it's going to come down to lefty righty nonsense.
It's going to be lefty righty. Yeah, and I just couldn't remember.
Kerstead and O'Hearn are both lefties.
That's what I thought. So.
Yeah. So anyway, so we can. All that will be decided, I assume, on Monday or Tuesday morning. They seem to really last minute with the rosters.
Yeah, it's probably Tuesday morning because they want to make sure everyone's healthy and all.
Yeah. But we have the basic gist of the rotation and our starting lineup, and we're feeling pretty good.
Right. Yeah. So how much? All right. So if we do 13 guys in the bullpen, how many? I think
we're going to do 12. But okay, if we do 13.
All right. So let's say we do 12. 12 guys. What's that leave? 4 bench spots. Is it 4 or 5 bench? Let's see. 12 would give us 14. So that'd be 8, 6. So 6 bench spots. So if we went 12, you have 6 bench spots.
If we went 12 pitchers, yeah.
Right? I'm doing that math right, I think.
Yeah, because it'd be 14.
Plus 8.
14, 8 position players. And so, yeah, 6 on in the dugout.
Okay. All right. So All right, so let's go through this. So let's take a look at who would be on your bench. McCann, obviously, is automatically there.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Yes.
Then you've got Kerstead.
Yes.
And then who else? So,
Slater.
So we'll put Slater in there.
Yeah.
And then I can put Rivera there. And that's 5. So who would be the 6th person if you're going with a 12-man bench? A 12-man, like, and either I'm really bad at math or there's no need to do 12 pitchers because we don't have the bench.
No, look, we got, okay, let me just do it real quick. This is so stupid. I hate we're doing this podcast, but let's get through it. Rutschman, by position, Rutschman, McCann, Mountcastle, O'Hearn, Westberg, Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, going to 3rd, Ramon Arias, Emmanuel Rivera. In the outfield, Colton Cowser, I'm at 10, Cedric Mullins, Austin Slater, and then Santander and Kerstedt. That's 14.
All right. I see where the math messed up. The math messed up because I did not count the DH. The DH slot.
The DH would be 9. Yes, thank
is
you.
what the DH slot is what messed up my math. All right, so then with your math, it comes down to Slater. So you counted then 6 bench spots. So it is whether if we go 13 pitchers, then you're right. Either Rivera or Slater is off this team.
Right, and I don't because what Slater brings in the extra. Oh, well, I guess not extra inning rules. That's out the window. But like as far as the pinch runner, defense replacement, I feel like you got to go with Slater there. I feel like you need Slater.
Yeah,
I think I don't think Kerstedt can be your 4th outfielder. Right?
I don't think so. I think you're right. I think
and so then I think it's an issue of Rivera or Suarez or Povich. Like it's that conversation. Or Bauman, if you want to throw him in there too.
Oh, sure. Let's just throw Baker in there too. If you want to throw Baker in there.
No, let's leave Bauman off.
Yeah, leave Bauman off.
We'll take Suarez and Povich.
Yep.
And we'll put Rivera on the team. And we'll have 12 pitchers and 14 position players.
Okay. I'm all right with that. That works with me. Because
the only hiccup is Suarez threw 80 pitches today. So if you feel like he can't go again until Wednesday or Thursday, then he's got to be off.
I see. Right. So 80 pitches. Yeah, you're seeing like
even as a bullpen guy.
Right. And now next series, once we get past this, I think when you're going to next series is 5 games or 7? 5.
Yeah.
I think even going to 5, you then lean towards the extra bullpen arm.
Right. Suarez is back in.
Yeah.
And you probably need a 4th starter, which
you would. Right.
Will be an interesting conversation with Suarez or Povich.
Correct. Well, and that's where I think a piggyback time.
Piggyback.
Just who's on the top. You got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Right. I think Povich should be in there besides Suarez.
Povich hasn't played pretty good ball. He impresses me because when he first came up, he couldn't locate any fastballs or break him stuff or anything. But he's really pitched a lot better the second half.
I like when Povich pitches because he looks like a 12-year-old.
He does, and he's a
he looks
little,
like
he's never
he looks like a
went to
little
the weight
leaguer.
room, straight out of middle school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that he is on now this biggest stage. It's awesome.
Yeah. And the nickname, we got some good nicknames rocking here that people are talking about. You know, his nickname is Slim Shady.
No, I did not know that. I should.
I did not know that.
Because he's got like the multiple personalities and like his Slim Shady side comes out when he's on the mound.
All right. Well, I need to work on that on a shirt.
Okay. And you know what Emmanuel Rivera's nickname is?
Oh, I've already got half a shirt here on my computer ready to go for Mr. Big Al.
Oh, okay. That's not his nickname, but you can go with that.
For Suarez?
Oh, Suarez. I said Emmanuel Rivera. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, Suarez is Big Al.
Okay.
For Albert Suarez.
Yeah. No,
I totally misheard you as I was thinking ahead. I thought we were still doing this side by side. It would be hilarious if
Rivera Big Al.
It was Big Al. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Well, his nickname is just kind of his odd, but.
All right. So what's Rivera's nickname?
The Octopus.
Oh, yeah, I've heard the Octopus. The problem is the Octopus is such a good nickname.
It's a great nickname.
That it is so much better of a nickname than he is a player. Like, it's the type of thing where it's like, The stadium should be full of people wearing the octopus
You
T-shirts.
do little hats with the octopus.
Exactly. It's way too good of a nickname.
Yeah. It's a lot better than cow.
But then you suck as a player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forget the milkman. The octopus is way better.
Yeah. Well, and I was reading an article about it today. I guess this was maybe Masson or MLB came out the article.
It's been like his whole life or something. He was called the octopus.
Yeah, his dad was called the octopus. And
Yeah.
so then he was called the octopus just because he was the son.
Right.
And he also
missed
he's a good defender, so like has a bunch of arms out there catching all the balls.
Yeah, but they totally missed an opportunity for like Junior Octo or something.
Well,
to
I
get
think
that
together they
junior
called him the octopi.
The octopi, the octopi family.
Yeah.
I like that. I do. I like that nickname. It's on one of my sheets of paper around here because I was like, well, that guy needs a shirt. And then I realized, but he sucks. Though he's hot right now. It's just too late.
He's good enough to make our playoff roster, I think.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Well, it is hilarious to think about some of the guys who have sucked, who, if the Orioles win the World Series, will be like, here's a ring.
Yeah. No, I agree. Josh, so how do you feel? Let's get to we're playing the Royals.
Yeah.
Which is unexpected because the Tigers had a 3-game series against the White Sox. I thought it was done. I thought it was all but done with playing the Tigers.
Exactly.
I was mentally prepared for that. And I was kind of happy.
But I think the way the Tigers played and struggled against the White Sox leaned into why at the same time we were comfortable playing the Tigers.
Yeah, though they played pretty well against us.
They did. But both those series against them, we did not have our offense that's all came back.
I feel like the Orioles there's a lot of good storylines with this series, right? There's the 2014, right? Revenge.
Yes. These O's aren't, these Royals aren't O's, or these O's aren't Royals.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy Guthrie.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That was
Royals versus Royals.
Yeah, and the names kind of sound alike.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Salif was not alive. How weird it is to think this. He wasn't alive for the last time the Orioles played in the playoffs. But that was such an annoying series where it seemed like every little blooper fell in for the Royals. And so this is a chance for revenge. We also have, and so there's that kind of history. We also have the Bobby Witt versus Gunnar Henderson / versus Adley Rutschman storyline, which I think is interesting and fun. And so yeah, I think it makes for compelling TV, and also it makes me nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because the playoffs. I'm nervous because what happened last year.
Right.
And I'm nervous because 2014. And I'm nervous because Bobby Witt Jr. is really good at baseball, and I'm just generally nervous about this whole thing. I'm optimistic, but I'm also very nervous.
Yep. No, and I'm right there with you. These guys make me more nervous than the Tigers. I have not kept up with the Royals. I remember the storyline at the All-Star break or end of July timeframe was about how the Royals give up a ton of runs and can't score runs when on the road, and how their home versus road differential was just ridiculous. So I'm not sure if that continued, if it was just how the scheduling worked out, but something to the point that people were talking conspiracies about why the Royals are so good at home and so bad on the road.
I appreciate you stirring that pot here, Josh, right before the playoffs.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know where it stands now with the home away splits and all that, but I feel good that the games are at home. I feel great that Corbin Burns has been pitching really well. I feel great about Zach Eflin. I see us taking this series in 2 games. I think you started the podcast with that same prediction that I don't think you need to come up for game 3. I think I will be flying home on Thursday morning.
Yeah, no, and that would be ideal. But again, this is baseball, and we know anything can happen. And they have superstars. They have Salvador Perez. They have Bobby Witt Jr. Those are 2 superstars.
Yes, they are.
And so superstars tend to rise in big moments. And I have every reason to believe that Bobby Witt Jr. is going to have a great series, right? Because he seems the kind of guy that likes the lights, likes the attention. Yeah. And they're just coming away with some must-win games against the Braves, who are a good baseball team, and they took care of business. So
I would say a safe prediction would be that sometime in this series, we will purposely walk Bobby Witt Jr. because we don't want that hot bat. because we're scared of that hot bat. Because I feel the same way. I feel like he's going to step up in these big moments. Now, I also think on our side, we've got guys that can do it too, like Gunnar and Anthony.
No, I agree.
So I trust my guys.
I do too. I think it's going to be a fun series. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm calling Orioles in 2 as well. I think the starting pitching match favors us. And yeah, I just hope it doesn't turn into a bullpen game.
No.
That would make me really nervous.
No, I see 7 runs by the Orioles. I see 7 innings by Corbin Burns, and 7 for Zach Eflin, and we walk out of this. And I mean 7 runs a game for the Orioles.
What's the advantage? The Orioles or the Orioles?
Advantage?
Yeah.
Would be the Orioles because it's at home.
Yeah. I mean, if I think about how the series could go, and we don't know, like the Orioles could be shut out. They've gone, series with not hitting. So that's possible. And like Corbin Burns could be bad, and he's been bad before this year. But as I see the series playing out, what comes back to my mind over and over again is the only way I feel like we're losing the series is if we get to the 6th and 7th inning and we're up by one or 2 runs, and Gregory Soto comes in or Cionel Perez comes in and gives up a bunch of hard contact.
Yeah.
Or if Sir Anthony Dominguez walks the first 2 guys and Bobby Witt Jr. comes up in late. Like, I feel if we're going to lose, it's going to happen in late inning, tragic fashion.
Yeah.
If our bullpen can hold up, I feel okay.
We can be good in the first couple of innings, then just give up a 10-1 once in the late innings.
Yep, yeah, and unfortunately our offense kind of does the same thing where they'll get it to a slow start, and then those last innings they get it done.
Yeah.
So I hope we don't. I don't want that stress. I don't want that pressure. I want to be there with the Orioles playing hot and scoring every inning, and just make it an awesome game and a fun experience to have playoff baseball for the 2nd year in a row in Baltimore.
Yeah, and this is, if you look at the playoff roster last year, Josh, it's most of the same guys, right? There's some small changes on the fringes, but the core guys are the same.
Yeah, and last year was a fluke to get there. We weren't planning on it. This year we kind of the expectations.
Fluke, we won the AL East. 162 games. It's not like
you're right. It's not a fluke. We got there a year early.
Yeah,
so
it was unexpected. Sure.
So I know I feel good about all that. J Baseball 777 in the chat is saying that if you remove the Royals games against the White Sox, they have a sub 500 record for the season. Because they played the White Sox a lot more because they're in the same division.
Yeah, and the White Sox lost the most games in the history of baseball. They're going to go down as the worst team in the history of baseball.
And we used to use that excuse with well, of course the Braves are always winning. They play the Marlins and the Mets. So we would use that excuse for other teams as well when they're not anyone that's not in the AL East. We would trash that.
Because Orioles, the AL East is always good and legit. Now, so we're battle tested. We're battle tested, Josh. We have a better record than the Orioles. If you look at kind of the metrics in terms of runs scored, whatever metric you want to talk about, runs given up, like we are the superior team. Like we are going to be the favorite going in this series. I would imagine we're going to be the favorite according to Vegas for every single game.
Yes,
and so
I would think so.
Now, that's the only thing. In that sense, I guess maybe there is some pressure for the Orioles with this same group of guys who had the first run exit last year. There's some pressure this year to get out of the wild card. But also, I think it's also worth noting, if you kind of take a bigger picture here, like there are no great teams, especially in the American League. There's no great teams. Like the Yankees are going to end up with the best record, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees aren't great.
And that was my next question for you.
Aren't untouchable.
Once we get past the wild card round,
it's all bets are off. We have just as good a shot as anybody to get to the World Series.
Right, exactly. And once we get past the Royals, it's the Yankees, and I feel great about playing the Yankees.
I do too. Mm-hmm. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Give me Garrett Cole versus Burns. Let's go.
Right. So, yeah. So I feel I have not like I'm just trying to think like next time we talk, hopefully we're not looking back on the year, but we're looking at the ALDS and how it's going.
Yeah, I'll be watching here from Macon, Georgia. You'll be watching from in Baltimore, from inside Camden Yards. I told Silas, like, if we get to the World Series, I'm gonna try to get him tickets because I don't know when that's gonna happen again. If we get that far, Silas expressed concern about his ability to view the game with everyone standing and people are tall and he's short.
You're right. Just watch it on TV, Silas.
Well, Seth has a plan if we get to the World Series and how to watch the game anyway.
Shoulders? Is his also involve a piggyback for Game 4?
What's your plan, Seth, when we get to the World Series to watch the game?
We're gonna go in the concourse and just watch the game from the TVs.
We're gonna buy tickets and we'll just go to that concourse and we'll watch the little TVs, the little TVs up there.
Like we just buy tickets just to get in the stadium.
So we'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can go in the team storms.
You know what, Silas? I think maybe you just go to Pickles. Then you don't have to buy a ticket, and you can watch the game on the TV.
Oh, you think you'll be able to see the game from Pickles?
Well, won't they? The TVs will be up high.
There's going to be so many people. He's going to be surrounded by people who are 6 foot at Pickles.
I guess you're right. Well, put them on a table.
Put
them on a table. Silas, I bet you could still fit into one of those baby backpacks.
Oh, the baby Bjorn.
Yeah,
they call it,
baby Bjorn.
Yeah, is that
that way you are as tall as your dad.
Yeah, that seems pretty heavy for me. But no, yeah, I think we're all in high spirits. This conversation could be very different on Monday. I'm just like, it's just kind of crazy, Josh, because in April and May we were on cloud 9 talking about this year, next year. I don't know. It's too early to say dynasty when you haven't even made it past the first round of the playoffs. But we're gonna, and then you get to July, you're like, oh, this team is in.
You are making me.
And the funk lasts to August, September, and you're like, what is going on with this team? That's going to be a fast exit. And then we get Ramon Arias back, and then we get Jordan Westbrook back, and then we get Coolum and Webb back in the bullpen. And now we're saying this team is going to sweep the Royals, and we're not scared of the Yankees. It's just been quite the roller coaster ride.
It is. You are correct. You are making me nervous pointing all that out. But I feel really good about my orange glasses, and I will stick with my orange color glasses.
Yeah.
So
I did too. Like, this is, I don't know. There is some pressure on Hyde. There's some pressure on this player. Like, we have to get out of this first round. We are the better team. We should.
Yes. Oh, I will also put it out there. No matter what the Orioles do, even if they win the World Series, I would move on from Hyde.
Okay, fine.
Just putting that out there.
Even if they win the World Series, you are an idiot, my friend.
You can't.
You don't
fire. You can't.
The only thing dumber than that would be like taking your quarterback who led you to a Super Bowl victory and firing your Super Bowl winning quarterback. That'd be the only thing that would be as dumb. Shout out to my boy Trent Dilfer. Hey, Josh, before we get out of here,
yes,
I saw the Ravens play the Bills tonight.
Yeah, the game just started. I'm ready to get off.
Yeah, we need to end this so we can watch the game.
Yeah,
I saw Angel Reese was at the game. You have any thoughts on the Angel Reese Caitlin Clark controversy and rivalry there?
I know. I thought that it's Caitlin, from what I understand, because I don't pay attention to
Angel
the
Reese is a
WNBA.
Baltimore girl.
But
so
from what passes,
carefully.
what crosses my news desks is it's not this girl versus Caitlin Clark. It is the entire WNBA against Caitlin Clark.
All right. Yeah, that might be fair.
That is my understanding.
She is Baltimore. Okay.
And I am never mind. I don't care. I
should have even brought that up.
I'm no team. I understand it's all of them against her.
Yeah. Hey, listen, do you know what the some people are crediting the Bills' success this year for their how close they are in the locker room, because do you know what they do when they hang out together? The Bills players in the locker room?
Fortnite?
Close.
Settlers of Catan.
Catan, yeah. Did you read that story?
I did not read that story.
There's a story about them playing.
I did not read that
Catan
story
all the time in the locker room.
I just thought about what's something that Matt would be excited about.
Yeah. And 10 years ago, Matt would have loved that.
I know. I played
Matt. It's kind of old news, but
right. I played a couple of games over the summer while on vacation with Gigi.
Yeah.
But besides that, I have not played in 5 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. But there were days when we would play for hours on end.
Correct. Yes. But that's good. I like anything that brings locker rooms together. I'm
Yeah.
for all that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And,
Even
and
if
it's funny. People were talking about locker room dysfunction with the Orioles 3 weeks ago, but then they start winning, and no one talks about the locker room being lost or in dysfunction anymore. It's amazing what winning does. Stops all that chatter.
Well, we also got rid of the people who were the problem makers. Austin Hayes.
And I think our discussions was after Austin Hayes.
It was Austin Hayes is what
struggles.
well,
After we traded Austin Hayes. I think Austin Hayes was why we started struggling.
Yeah, it might be interesting. Austin Hayes this year in the playoffs for the Phillies. Let's take notes and compare him to our right fielder and see who does better.
I think the controversy in the Orioles clubhouse, the problem, I think, was injuries.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
And frustrations over struggles.
Yeah, and then we know how this works in baseball. You struggle, so you try harder. You try harder, you play worse, right?
Yep. And when you do a whole team is pressing, it's no fun in that locker room because everyone is irritated, not at the team, but at themselves.
At losing, yeah.
And then that makes everyone
And there were
short.
references, Josh, in the celebration with all the champagne, clinching the wild card. There were celebrations about Twitter and X and the negativity on Twitter and X that the Orioles were talking about, how they blocked it out. But anytime you talk about like I didn't listen to X means you are aware of what was on X.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get out of here.
Yeah, because I want to watch the football game.
I know. Henry just went for a huge run.
Oh, man.
Touchdown. Just so you know.
Thank you.
Before we get out of here, last thing I had was, how do you feel about locker room champagne celebrations? Are they okay for making the wild card?
I don't like them. I don't like them for clinching the wild card, especially when you went there last year and you won the AL East.
Me either.
And now you're celebrating clinching the wild card. Celebrate when you win the World Series.
I'm okay with it.
Celebrate when you win this. Don't celebrate by winning the wild card.
And that's the thing is,
I'll take the division too. Celebrate.
I am fine with the division because that's a whole season you won that division. I am fine with that. I don't like the wild card celebration.
Yeah, do not.
And I'll tell you, if they celebrate after winning 2 games in this series, I don't like that either. Like, you're not done. Like, that's great. Make it past the wild card round. Great. You're not done. You get to the ALDS. Great. You got past that. You're not done. Get to ALCS. Great. Got past that. You're not done. Don't celebrate because you're not done. Celebrate when you win the division. I understand. That's a hard season, and you did that. Yeah, and then celebrate at the World Series.
I agree.
Like the fact that tomorrow, it's crazy that the NL championship came down to a doubleheader tomorrow. A game 1.
Yeah, for the last wildcard spot.
For the last wildcard because of the hurricane. But whoever wins game 1 gets in, and then whoever wins game 2 also gets in.
Yeah.
So as long as you win one of your 2 games tomorrow, you get in. Are you telling me that the Braves are going to win game 1 and then do a locker room celebration in their locker room to then go play game 2 in 45 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
And then you're telling me that then game 2, the game's over and there's a celebration for the other team getting in the wild. I forget who they're playing to get into the wild card, and you're going to do a celebration in your locker room when in 24 hours you have to go across the coast and play again? Like, I don't get it. I would be irritated if I am a fan of one of these teams tomorrow and they are celebrating after winning.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Because and then you got to turn around and not just play the other game. You got to turn around and play a playoff game tomorrow. All right, let's get out of here.
Yep.
I just got a text saying, "Oh my, this game is unreal," and I'm stuck here talking to you like a knucklehead instead of watching. Unreal. How is it unreal? It started 15 minutes ago. Can't be unreal yet.
Well, I like the text that came right before this game's unreal. Is Ugh, Jimmy has him. I don't even know what that means.
I'm talking fantasy football. My opponent this week in fantasy has Derrick Henry.
Oh, see, I saw Ugh, Jimmy has him, and I'm like, what is that? I didn't know about fantasy football. I thought it was a reference. I'm like, there's no one on the team. It's not Jimmy Allen. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go watch football.
Yeah, and then we'll be here next week with all your playoff coverage for the ALDS.
Yeah, I'll be in 338 on Tuesday if anyone wants to come down.
Oh, nice. Very cool. All right, Josh, have a great time. And yeah, thanks for listening, boys and girls. Go to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, as usual, and write us a review. Join us here for your playoff journey and share with others. You can follow us on X. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. You can follow us on X at Section 336 the show. You can follow me on X at Section 336. And you can follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka, and go to breakingtea.com/birdland.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.
Bye, Silas.
Bye.